Hello, everybody, and of course, welcome back to another episode of XtalknIsh with your boy X. And of course, Ish is not here just yet. He'll be popping up shortly. I know he will. In the meantime, between time, if you don't mind, go ahead and like and sharing this broadcast if you are on Facebook. And if you are on Facebook, please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button on our Facebook page, and as well with YouTube. Go ahead and hit the red subscribe button, and go ahead and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified for shows like this one in the future. Bing. Thank you for that, Ish. And as well on Twitter, go ahead, check us out at XtalkingIsh. Check us out on Periscope. I'm also going to retweet the show on my personal page at X_Williams81. So if you are on either one of those, go ahead and check us out on Periscope. Alrighty then. I'm back once again for another preview preview events of course, week 10 of the NFL season. It's the NFL is going by as fast as I expected it to go when it comes to it's a fast, long season. Now, I'll say this season compared to last season, this season is going by a little bit quicker. I don't know for whatever reason, but it seems as though it's going by a little faster than normal. So with that being said, again, I know Ish will probably join us in about 3 to 5 minutes. He'll pop up. It's 8:10 on my end, and again, I know he'll pop up sooner or later. But for right now, there is a football game going on across the pond once again, but not in the UK. This is the first time the NFL is holding a football game in Munich, Germany, and of course, the almighty Tom Brady heads over there with his Buccaneers, and Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks head over there as well. And at the moment, the Bucs are up 14-3 with 12 minutes left to go in the third quarter. The Buccaneers at the point that I was watching the game we're getting to get in more of a controlled rhythm of getting into this game, especially on the offense side of the ball, moving the ball a lot better than they were the first couple of drives when they first obtained the ball. The Seahawks are trying to establish a better running game, just trying to establish an overall offense against this Buccaneers defense. They are coming at Geno Smith. Geno's not able to get anything going right now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half. Those overseas games are weird. You never know what's going to happen with those. As you can see, the picks are on the board for my picks and, of course, with Ish's picks. This time, these are not guesses. These are actually factual picks that Ish has made. I was able to get my picks in early this morning, so I know what picks Ish have. So, again, even though he's not here, I have the picks. And Ish has the Buccaneers. I'm pretty sure, again, if he was here and whenever he does pop up, pretty sure he would say, this is Tom Brady. You don't bet against the GOAT. He has to get this win to continue to try to win the division because it's a pretty trash division right now, and all you need is probably like 8 wins to win it. This could be one of those, an upset against the Seahawks because the Seahawks are playing very, very well. But if you look at quarterback versus quarterback, who would you rather have, Geno Smith or Tom Brady? And then you look at, who would you rather have, Mike Evans or DK Metcalf? Or, running back wise, Leonard Fournette, Walker, it just, again, it all depends on how you look at the offense. And then you look on the defensive side of the ball as well, too. The Buccaneers are playing up to the Buccaneers standard at this moment in the first half. So if they can continue to do this, I wouldn't surprise me at all if the Buccaneers win this game in Germany. But for the Seahawks, this is a game for them that I feel as though that they can't let slip away, because a lot of people are still questioning the Seahawks on if they are able to even win the division, if they are still, quote unquote, real within the NFC. I believe in the Seahawks, but a game like this will make the non-believers continue to be non-believers for the Seahawks. Right now, like I said, it is still 14-3. I think they're at commercial break. Hasn't had any time moving off the clock at the moment. So let's go ahead and get to the comment section right quick. Travis Crow says, morning. Appreciate the the tunes and the views at the moment. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, Fractional Honest says, what's the score? The Bucks better be winning. Yes, the Bucks are winning 14-3. 12 minutes left to go in the third quarter. And my boy Cody Chapman says, morning, brother. Morning, brother. Once again, we appreciate y'all for joining again week 10 of the NFL preview show. We'll, of course, check back in with this game in the middle of the show, and then probably, of course, at the end of the show to keep you updated on this game if you are tuning in to, of course, us with XtalknIsh. And if you are also tuning into the game, we'll keep you updated with what's going on in Germany. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Vikings and Bills, and probably the most anticipated matchup for this weekend. I mean, if you look at the NFL slate right now, after this game, I mean, it gets kind of boring. I mean, I know that sounds bad, but I mean, the lineup for this week is pretty meh. Now, some of the games we have for this weekend, they can end up being good, but just previewing the game, they look really, really meh. So for the time being, this is probably the better game, even though with Josh Allen being hurt and depending on the status with him, we'll see what happens with Josh Allen. But this is a very, very, very big show me game for the Vikings. The Vikings are a team that, just like what I said with the Seahawks, they're another NFC team that are looked at as pretenders because of what they haven't done in the past. And this is a great opportunity for the Vikings to be able to put a stamp on the regular season and say that we've arrived. The Bills are a team that's obviously, you know, everybody still fears them and still looks at them as a threat in the NFL, even with 2 losses. They have 2 losses, but it's within the division, and you're undefeated at home. So when you look at everything on paper, it looks like it's the Bills' game that they're supposed to win. But at the moment, Ish and I are in agreement with the Vikings winning this game. When Ish pops up on this show, I want to talk to him about this game because, and y'all know how Ish is when it comes to Captain Kirk. He be hating on Captain Kirk. I don't know why. I don't know why he be hating on Captain America, but this could be the second half breakthrough MVP performance for Kirk Cousins, maybe, to go out there and ball out and of course, utilize Justin Jefferson and, of course, Dalvin Cook and be able to show everybody on a national stage what the Vikings can do against a really, really good team. Let's get to the comment section right quick. Fresh One also says, happy belated Vets Day and can't get a chance to say it yesterday. I appreciate you, boss man. One love from everybody, of course, one love to all the vets out there in the world. And Cody Chapman says, big game for you folks today, buddy. Got my Broncos. Yes, the Titans play the Broncos, and we'll go ahead and talk about that a little bit later on. We'll go ahead and let's ride over there. A couple more games. We'll talk about the Titans and the Broncos. Frank Runner says, if the Vikings win, will the respect come to Captain Kirk like it should now? See, you asked it, and I asked it as well, too. I mean, it comes down to Kirk. It comes down on what type of performance you're going to put up there, Kirk. You know, if you go out there and you ball out, I mean, it's hard for people to say, you know, you're not who you are, right? You're not the better version of Kirk Cousins that we're trying to see, that we're trying to get past the Washington Redskins version, or even just the past couple of years version with the Vikings. You're trying to blossom into this new butterfly of quarterback. So it's up to Kirk Cousins to show all of us that he wants to take that next step. Fracture One also says, also, do you play Allen with that elbow situation he's going through? Yeah, great question. I mean, I haven't seen any new reports on what's going on with his elbow, and that's kind of scary to me. All I've seen is, of course, he's been held out of practice. I don't think he starts. I think he comes off the bench as a backup, But if Josh Allen is going to be your future for the next 10 plus years, this might be one of them times where you say, okay, look, if the elbow is not cooperating the way we want it to, we're going to have to shut you down for this season, because I'd rather have you for 10 more seasons than for one. See, I'd rather him be there forever than be like Andrew Luck, be like RG3, be like guys that have gotten rushed back in quicker than they should have and are not playing football anymore. So that's the problem, to where, and it's not just a football injury. This is really a baseball injury. Like Fresh Wanda says, if this is a Tommy John injury, this is a baseball injury. This is a situation that's really unprecedented within football realms. This is more of a baseball injury, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if he goes through a baseball doctor that will help him recover, or surgery and also recover, to make sure he gets back to 100%. But we have to, of course, figure out what happens with him or Josh Allen, of course, with him in that elbow situation. My opinion, I wouldn't start him. I honestly probably wouldn't even play him. If they say, hey, it's Tommy John, he needs surgery, he needs to sit down, you're going to have to sit down for a year there, sir. So we'll see what happens. Nothing but the best for Josh Allen and, of course, the Buffalo Bills. I want to see everybody at their best. I want to see the Lions, the Tigers, the Bears, the Ole Mice. I want to see everybody at their best. So, excuses. I want to hear none at the end of the year. Oh, well, we didn't get to the Super Bowl because my quarterback got hurt. I don't want to hear that. Everybody get hurt. Quarterbacks get hurt. Running backs get hurt. Wide receivers get hurt. But at the end of the day, I do want to see best on best. I wish it was like Madden, to where nobody got hurt, right? But that's just not the case at all. Fractal Runner says, took Justin Verlander 2 years to come back. Sit him for today, 1 game versus 2 years off. I'll take the later. Yeah, you heard it here first. All right, Lions, Bears. I do know when it comes to Ish, if it was this game, when it comes to this game, if he was here, he would say nobody wants to talk about this game. Let's go ahead and move on. And he's right, because this game is probably going to be pretty ugly. 2 teams that have won 2 games, and the Bears have won 3. Trying to find the shiny moment for this game. I really can't. It's pretty toss up. Even though the Bears are a 3-point favorite, it can go either way. It's a divisional game, and both these teams really have nothing to lose, nothing to play for. So you'll see. You'll see the best of Justin Fields. You'll see the best of Jared Goff. Wouldn't surprise me at all. We have a lot of slingums out there. Like I said, a lot of offensive productivity. But it doesn't matter who wins this game. None of these teams are doing anything within the division, within the conference, and they are, of course, getting ready for the draft. Fractal One asks, Claypool balling today? I mean, if he's getting 15 targets a game, I mean, he should at least catch 7 of them, right? I mean, I would hope so. So it's up to Claypool. I think he will struggle. I won't beat around the bush. I think he'll struggle against the Lions secondary. And I know the Lions have had a horrible secondary this whole half of the season, but I think just because of how not good of a wide receiver Claypool is, I think he will struggle today. So we'll see what happens with that. Of course, Broncos, Titans, we were just talking about this earlier. I think this is a bigger game for the Titans and the Broncos. Again, no disrespect, Cody. The Broncos are kind of dead in the water right now. Not to be the dead horse, all the puns, all that good stuff. But on a serious note for the Broncos, it's like, when do the Broncos pull a Colts and fire their coach in the middle of the season? Because we talk about it all the time when it comes to Nathaniel Hackett. He is not hacking it. He is not the guy. And perfectly right on time. My brother from another mother jumps right in, and I know I knew you were gonna pop right in at the right time. And we're talking about one of your favorite coaches, Mr. Hackett, Mr. Nathaniel Hackett. I know he can't hack it, as you would say. And we're just previewing this Broncos Titans game. After we preview this one, we'll go back and talk about a couple of games that we talked about very briefly. I just want to hear what you might have to say on some of these things, and then we'll continue to move on. But Broncos Titans. Any words on this game, sir?
The Broncos. We'll see if they are gonna find their identity somehow. Russell Wilson's gonna come back and be the guy that everybody thought he was gonna be. But I expect the Titans to win this game. The Titans, they played the Chiefs really well last week, which I feel like they always play the Chiefs well. But they are showing things that we came to expect of a Titans team, and they're showing things that I think makes you kind of think, hey, this team may be similar to the team last year, and they may not be a team to overlook. I know they started the season kind of slow, and people were thinking, well, maybe we need to start looking at Malik Willis. Well, obviously we don't. That we learned that, right? Malik Willis is not the guy that needs to be starting for them right now. But on top of that, we did notice that they are still a real contender in the AFC, and I think they're going to show that against this Broncos team. This Broncos defense is a really good defense, and they may keep this team in the game, but I think overall Titans going to win. It looks like Tannehill's going to play. Am I correct?
Yeah, he's supposed to play, but here's the kicker. One thing that y'all don't understand that I understand when it comes to this team that I represent, unfortunately, because they break my heart a lot, they play well against teams they're supposed to amp their competition level against, which is the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, these good teams, either in the AFC or the NFC or whatever, right? But then when you play a team that you're supposed to beat, you're at home, his team is struggling, you will find a way to play down to the competition. That's what I'm worried about with the Titans. Titans are only a 2.5-point favorite. And yes, Tannehill is starting. Yes, Tannehill probably should win. We should win the game by at least a touchdown. But just due to how stagnant the offense has been, even with Tannehill, right? It wasn't like it was Malik Willis' fault, like the offense has been stagnant. No, it was with Tannehill, but mainly the reason why it hasn't been stagnant because Derrick Henry's been carrying the whole load. Yeah. So if Derrick Henry cannot rush the football, because the Broncos always, for the most part, if the Broncos have everything, they're going to have a front seven. So the Broncos are going to find a way to shut down the run. Now it's going to put the ball in your hand, Tannehill, and can you make sound throws to win this game that you're supposed to win and be able to move on next week? That's really the question.
How's that new though? That's always been the case for the Titans. I feel like as long as you stop the King, then you had a chance to win. But it's a lot harder to stop him than people think, right? Like it's easy to say, hey, if we stop him, we're gonna win the game. But when you get out there and that man start running your boys over, things get real.
It gets very real. First one that says one thing about he says the Titans that they have one hell of a coach. He also says he played the Texans and did okay, I guess. Not his time yet. First of all, sir, not even just that. We're going to stop using the Texans.
Yeah, please don't use the Texans as a measuring stick for any.
Because first of all, I was at that game, okay? He did not play that well, okay? Second of all, if you're scared to throw the football against the Texans, we're gonna have some. We're gonna have some issues. We're gonna have some issues. Got to address moving forward. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's go back right quick to the game I talked about earlier. Seahawks and Buccaneers. We'll recap right quick. It's 4 minutes left to go in the third. Still 14-3. Buccaneers are still up. My bad. I got all the B's in my head. My bad. Ish.
Trap.
You ain't lying. Give me your quick little take on this game.
Yeah, I just expected the Buccaneers to win this game for a number of reasons. I think the Buccaneers are a little bit on the up right now. I think that they will play well against the Seahawks because, the Seahawks are a team that people didn't expect to be where they are, but because of where they are right now, the Buccaneers are going to get up to play them. I think if the Seahawks were playing as expected and a little bit lower down the league, this would be the kind of game that the Seahawks would come in and beat the Buccaneers because they would be a little bit sleeping on it. But they're not sleeping on them. They were going to be ready. And not to mention, both teams had to adjust to going over to Munich, right? It's a lot farther for the Seahawks than it is for the Buccaneers.
And that's something I thought about too. I ain't gonna lie, I thought about that as well.
And I mean, that was the big thing for me that kind of put it over the top, because we always talk about the Seahawks playing on the East Coast. And when they go to play games on the East Coast, what that transition is like, right? Well, going all the way across the pond to Munich, that for me was a big concern. I know both teams went and they had time to adjust, but it's still a big adjustment. And I think that's where, for me, with teams kind of close, because I do think the Buccaneers are still close to where the Seahawks are, it kind of put it over the top for me as far as Bucks.
Yeah, I don't think people understand when it comes to that literally cross country traveling. That's a whole different type of trip. There ain't no 2 or 3 hour plane ride. Mm-hmm. That's literally your whole body has to readjust. It takes about 2 or 3 days for your body to readjust. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the Vikings and Bills. Let me get your take on that one.
Yeah, Vikings.
Yeah, breaking down for nobody.
I mean, I just think that the Bills with Josh Allen in his current situation, we don't really know what he's going to look like. Even if he plays, you know, we don't know what the lingering effects are going to be of that UCL injury.
That. Yeah, and that's something Fracture One brought up earlier. He talked about it could be a potential Tommy John injury. He also talked about Joseph Verlander taking 2 years off. In regards of him sitting today, so where he's able to be back. Because I talked about, look, if Josh Allen is your quarterback for the next 10, 15 years,
you don't want to aggravate that.
You don't want to try to win a ring in 1 year to sabotage your next 10, 15 years.
Yeah, you don't want that, because that's the kind of
then you turn into Andrew
injury,
Luck,
right?
Then you turn into Andrew Luck. Then you turn to RG3. Then you turn to a guy that's not able to fulfill your whole football career because you got rushed out quicker than you needed to, and you've messed up your whole body, and now you're a shell of yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's the big concern for me, and I just think that there's too much riding on the situation with Josh Allen, and there's a lot of distractions because of that situation with Josh Allen. That's why I think the Vikings are going to win. I still think the Bills are a better team, but I think the Vikings, they play well enough that they can go in there, run the ball, and win this game.
I definitely agree. And I talked about this game a little bit. I pretty much said that this is a game I'm pretty sure Ish don't want to talk about. So I said, let's go ahead and move on. Yeah, I see. I knew my brother. And I know you probably want to say maybe a shout out to Justin Fields. Maybe, he might go out there and go crazy. That's probably why you picked the Bears, or you just picked it by default.
I mean, I guess he might go crazy. He's played well the past 2 weeks. It seems like the play calling is different since they came back from that bye. They have been, a little more aggressive, getting the ball, spreading the ball around. He's been playing better. But ultimately, those two teams are teams of just pure disappointment. So it didn't matter which team I picked. I think I'm going to be disappointed either way. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions come out and blow them out for some reason, and then it's going to be like, why did I even decide to go behind why did I choose the Bears? I'm going to probably feel bad for choosing the Bears, but I have to pick somebody in that game. So I'm going to pick the Bears and, hope and pray that Justin Fields continues to improve.
No, you're perfectly fine. I have a couple picks on here. I'm just like, I hope it goes my way, because I know I'm going to be looking real silly if it don't. All right, let's go to Jacksonville versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And Ish, of course, your team. I'll go ahead and let you take it on.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs, this is a game the Chiefs should just win. I mean, let's just be honest. The Chiefs just need to go out there and win. I wouldn't be surprised, however, if the Chiefs lose this game, because that's how the Chiefs decide. That's how they decide to behave. Every once in a while, they just come out and a game where I'm like, oh, yeah, y'all should win this easy. And then, So I'm hoping to see the continued integration of Kadarius Toney into the offense and see what he's able to do with them. He's a true deep threat. I don't think Scott Moore has been what the team thought that he was going to be. Now we're hearing that Juju wants a long-term contract with the team. That's cool to hear. We need to figure out the running back situation. I know we're doing this whole committee thing, but at times it feels a little distracting because you don't know who's going to get the ball, how nobody gets in the groove. Everybody's getting one touch here, 2 touches here. I would like for them to figure that out. And then defensively, just seeing the continued growth of that secondary. It's a young secondary. They're continuing to grow, continue to come together. I think for me, it's the same thing I say with the Eagles throughout the season. I just want to see you doing the right things and taking the right steps to get into where you need to be for the playoffs. So even if they lose this game, I mean, I won't panic, but at the same time, I will have a lot of questions for Andy Reid and Kansas City Chiefs.
I mean, there should be a dub. I mean, like I said, it's just nothing really to talk about. This should be, again, at home against a bad Jacksonville team who we thought would be better.
Well, Etienne's running. He's running the rock. Like Etienne has been doing what he needs to do. It's really Trevor Lawrence who he and his
bad
receivers
team
have
that we
started.
expected to be better.
Okay.
Again, I'm not saying that they are the Texans. I'm just saying that they are a bad team.
As long as you're not saying they're
supposed to be. No, not at all. Cool. I was thinking that they maybe could win, 7, 8, maybe even 9 games at the beginning of the season. Then
they started that way.
Then things are just gone to shit. And it's the Jacksonville way. And this is just going to be another L that's going to be added to their resume. We're going to move on to next week. Now, again, it's a 9.5-point favorite. We've seen crazier things already this season when it comes to upsets.
Yep.
So it wouldn't surprise me at all, but it'll be a little bit different. Travis says, so if they playing in London, does your pick change? Now, nobody's playing in London today. They're playing in Germany. Remember Travis playing in Germany.
Yeah, if they were playing in London, then I'll pick the Jags.
Okay, my bad. He's talking about the London Jag. My bad.
Yeah, if they were playing in London, if they're playing in London, I would pick the Jags. Plain and simple.
If they're playing in London, I'm still picking the Chiefs because I actually have a brain.
No, I'm picking the Jags.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, why not?
Because they didn't come through for you just 2 weeks ago in London.
That was a fluke.
Okay. So they're gonna be the Chiefs though in London. Though. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, they would.
All right. Y'all see what y'all started with this London Jags mess with Ish? He's delusional.
I'm still campaigning for them to move to London officially.
I know you are. We're not doing that though. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Browns and the Dolphins. And this game looked a lot more appealing if Deshaun Watson was on the field.
No, it wouldn't.
Again, if
he's gonna come back rusty. He's gonna come back.
If he started the season, he wasn't suspended. Is what I'm trying to get at. If he was week 10 and played and all these played in the past, this game would be a little bit more appealing. That's what I'm saying because of the star power on the field. Unfortunately, just due to, of course, him being suspended and suspension is about to be over actually next week. This game should be a game that the Dolphins should win. But, and like Fracture Water brings up, Browns with the upset today, question mark? I mean, that's a great question. I mean, I'm looking at it if the Browns can control the rock, can run the ball and keep the offense off the field. It's the good old Peyton Manning and Tom Brady effect when it comes to keeping them off the field. You have a high-scoring offense and try to make sure that you limit their possessions and try to win the turnover battle, the time of possession, and the rushing game, and maybe have a chance on the road. But in reality, the Dolphins, every time they touch the ball, they're on Miami Vice, and they out here taking it to the next level every time they touch the football. So it would surprise me even more if the Dolphins did lose this game. I don't see them losing, but that's just my opinion. And Ish, of course, agrees with me as well. He'll be, of course, joining me right back now once again. And Greg has a question for you, Ish. Greg asks, Ish, with the Deshaun Watson doubt, my apologies, he's going to be ready to go next week. They're playing the Texans, and yes, he is correct. And actually, I will be I'll be at that game here in Houston as well.
Yeah, I had to get up out of here with all that nonsense you were talking about the Browns because.
Oh, here we go. My bad. I thought you have technical difficulties. No, you want to be dramatic. Okay.
No, because all that nonsense with the Browns, I'm not trying to hear it. Okay. Yeah, Nick Chubb. They got Nick Chubb, and they can run the rock, but. Overall, they're just not a good team this year. They're not playing up to par. So Everybody
remember this conversation when the Browns upset the Dolphins today, wasn't that? I want all y'all remember this on Tuesday.
Let me say this: if the Browns upset the Dolphins today, then we need to talk about some real issues on the Dolphins because they should not upset.
They should not.
They should not because all they have is Nick Chubb right now. All they have is Nick Chubb. Meanwhile, Deshaun Watson gonna be ready to play the Texans, but. I mean, I can go get a little league player to be ready to play the Texans next week, and they'll probably lead the Browns to victory. Okay, that's how bad the Texans playing right now.
Your little cousin.
Yeah, my cousin can go play quarterback for the Browns.
Shout the cousin out.
Shout out to Gabe. Gabe can go play quarterback for the Browns, and they're gonna beat the Texans. Okay.
All righty then. Speaking of the Texans, we go right into the Texans, and of course they take on the New York Giants, and the Giants, I would think, want to use this game as a bounce back, coming off the loss against the Seahawks. And for the most part, I mean, look, we on the same page on this one. Once again, it's really not too much to talk about. I'll let you take the floor.
Let me see the improvement, Danny Dimes. That's all I'm looking for today. I just want to see the improvement, see that you learned from that loss with the Seahawks, and that you're back to playing your best ball this season, so that the Giants, fan base can feel encouraged about the rest of the season going forward. Texans, yeah. Just start doing your homework if you haven't already, which I bet you haven't, because clearly y'all never do your homework on who y'all picking number one, okay? I just want to know who y'all gonna pick number one. Who y'all gonna pick number one? That's what we need to start talking about moving forward. Moving forward, we should just talk about the Texans, who they're picking number one.
Like I said, it better be a defensive player. It better not be an offensive
Travis,
player.
Stop that. No, not as long as Davis Mills is their quarterback. No.
Travis wants it to be an upset game so the Giants can lose for his Cowboys.
Yeah, I know.
That's what he wants.
No.
Travis ain't slick. You know exactly what Travis is.
Yeah, not having it. Travis.
Yeah, I told you, look, Travis talking about I need it.
Yeah, I need it. Yeah, I know.
Need it.
The Texans should not be who you hoping will upset someone for you. That's only gonna lead to disappointment.
That's you wishing on a hope and a prayer for real,
man.
Frank says Super Bowl 25 going. Oh, my bad. Saquon Barkley, my bad. I'm thinking Super Bowl. My bad. Saquon Barkley gonna run for 175. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Now, I will say, look, on the defense side of the ball for the Texans, I mean, they have some pieces. Petrie's a very nice piece out there. And then also, of course, Stingley, unless Stingley is trying to make a tackle and is put on national television for disrespect. Oh, my goodness.
I still think they should have picked Sauce, but
that was disrespectful. But other than that, the defense on the Texans side of the ball, I mean, it's not horrible. Like I said, they have some pieces. I just don't see them beating the Giants, especially in an away game. And, of course, let's just be real. The Texans are just overall not a good team.
Yeah.
So
third worst defense in the league.
Yes, they are the worst defense for a reason. All right, before we finish up with the rest of these games, I'm gonna give you a recap of what's going on in Germany. The Buccaneers are still up 14-3. Start of the fourth quarter, Buccaneers have the ball.
They're in the red zone.
They are in the red zone, and most likely, if they're able to score, they will be able to put this game away. Because I do not see Seattle being able to come back with the way that their offense has been moving this whole season. I'm sorry, this whole game. And we're also going to go ahead and, of course, as always, give a shout out quickly to, of course, Imperial's Kings Barbershop. New location on 9218 FM 529. Go ahead and give Jason a call at 346-355-8255. Let them know XtalknIsh sent you, so you can go ahead and get faded up and get bladed up. You already know what to do over there. And as always, let's get back to the comment section once again. Fraction 1 says they're bad on defense until they get to the goal line, can't tackle to save their lives.
Not at all.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and get to the pick'em game of the week. The Saints and the Steelers. As you can see, this is an even game, as in coin flip. Take a pick, and that's pretty much what Ish and I did. I mean, I didn't know Ish was going to go the opposite way. I was thinking about going to Saints at one point, and I said, you know what? Only because the Steelers at home, I'm going to rock with the Steelers at home. They probably don't deserve to win this game. They're probably not going to, but they'll probably find a way to win this game.
No. The only reason why I thought about picking the Steelers is because they're coming off a bye. But outside of that, there is no reason to pick the Steelers. They've been bad. They've been horrible this season, and they still got to stop Alvin Kamara. They still got to stop Chris Olave. I mean, the Saints have pieces. The Saints just haven't been able to put it all together, and some of those injuries have just come at the wrong time. But The Steelers, I don't know. I don't really have hope in the Steelers at the moment. The quarterback situation is still well, we don't know what we got here. I want to see what the offense looks like now that Chase Claypool is gone. Are we going to see more of Pickens? Is he gonna be a bigger part of the offense?
More. Oh yeah, they better be.
Moving forward. I want to see that. I want to see if they're actually going to throw the ball some, because that has been, missing. And then on defense, are they, TJ Watt is back. What kind of impact does he have? Is TJ Watt going to be that X factor that makes them play up to what we expect from the Pittsburgh Steelers? I don't know. But I'm still picking the Saints. I don't think the Steelers, it's over for you guys. Y'all also are with the Texans. Go ahead and start figuring out who you're going to draft.
Fracture Warner says the Katie Legend, the Red Rocket, going to ball today. Okay, Mr.
Yeah, stop that.
Why are you being a hater of the Katie Legend?
Stop that. Okay, they desperately. I never thought I'd say they desperately need Jameis back. Jameis, please.
I ain't gonna lie. I said the same thing. Like, damn, I don't think this might be the only time where you see Saints fans actually begging for Jameis to come.
Begging for Jameis, please, Jameis, come back, please.
Oh Lord. But yeah, sad. Also too, yeah. But I mean, look, you making my case for me when it comes to picking the Steelers. Besides coming off the bye, you got TJ Watt coming back as well too. That helps out the defense. He's not going to be 100%. He's not going to be back in game shape in one game, but
that's right.
It helps. It helps to have him back on that defensive side of the ball. So I'm okay with my pick. Again, this is a toss up.
Well, you picked the Steelers to go to playoffs, so
damn. Man, that's how we do it.
It's all right because I picked the Packers to win the North.
Well, so you hit me right there, huh? Right there.
Yeah. You thought they were going to be a dark horse, and they're dark, all right.
They're dark, all right. They're dark, all right. Yeah.
They're dark, all right. Just in a different kind of way.
They in the dark hole as the Raiders, as you can see with both of these teams, the Colts and the Raiders. This is one of those games where back in the early 2000s, maybe this would be a good matchup. Now this is just nobody wants to look at this. Now, of course, the main component coming into this game and the main headline is, of course, Jeff Saturday taking the interim head coach role for the Colts and all of the chitter chatter that has come out of that. I have watched a lot of different football talk shows. I've watched the post game show on Thursday night, and you have former players that was in the NFL, that were in the NFL and that are. But besides questioning and besides saying, what about the coaches that have been, coaching for the last 5, 10, 15 years that have got a chance? I think more of the guys that used to play the game are looking at it like, what's going on in Indy? Because this is not normal. This is like some 1932 shit. You feel me? This ain't out of all these qualified coaches out here in the NFL. You go out and go get somebody that is actively on an ESPN show on a daily basis, and then all of a sudden,
no elite coaching history.
But again, you reap what you sow. But who knows? Maybe the Colts might have the last laugh at this. Maybe he's 7-1, right? Maybe after 8 games, 7-1, don't make the playoffs, but end the season off good, or end the season off in a way that they can say, you know what? Maybe we bring back Jeff Saturday next year. And I know, right? I don't believe it either, but I don't know what direction they are going with this. And this is just a whole this is a Texan thing to do. Right? It's not the Colts to do. And as Fracture One that says, Jeff Saturday wins today, they're going to go ahead and roll out the carpet for Josh McCown, as Ish talked about last week as well, too. Yeah, I mean, look, this sets up for a horrible precedent. If this goes well moving forward, we're going to have Jerry Jones' grandson out here coaching the 49ers soon. I mean, it is going to get – we're going to have
I'm going to start applying for jobs.
Head coaches, bro. It is going to get bad if this happens. Because no disrespect to Jeff Saturday, and again, I know he's in the middle. He's in the middle of the crossfire. But this makes the position of a head coach look very insignificant.
Well, let me
the reason why I say that is because it makes it seem like, fuck, Jeff Saturday could be a head coach. I could do it too. Just throw my hat out there, throw my name in the hat, right? I mean, shit. I mean, anybody can be a head coach, right? All it did is just managing people and leading men, right?
He played at a high
He
level.
did. And I'm not trying to get on Jeff. I like Jeff Saturday. I'm just trying to figure all this out. That's all.
Well, my thing is, there's only one person I've seen that's been, speaking so highly in favor of this situation, and that's RG3 for some reason. My man said we need more players directly and go into coaching right after retirement and be head coaches like the NBA. Yeah, totally different game, my guy. I don't know. You've been doing great in the booth, but you need to stop with that take. That's the first thing.
I like RG in the booth. Sometimes though he be wilding, but yes, continue.
Yeah, he be wilding. But the second thing for me is, I'm sorry, but if Jeff Saturday win this game, Josh McDaniels got to go. If Jeff Saturday win this game today, that's what I'm looking out for. If he wins this game today,
I'm gonna get to that, sir. And unfortunately, it looks like Ish fell asleep on us for a second, and I'm waiting for him to join us once again. But I'm pretty sure when I'll finish it up I'm pretty sure what he's going to say in regards of Josh McCown. If Jeff Saturday wins this game and Josh McCown cannot beat this Colts team with Jeff Saturday as a head coach, Josh McCown, is going to have to go. I mean, I don't understand why this guy in the first place is continuously getting opportunities to be a head coach when he probably should not be getting these opportunities. So the only reason why I even picked the Raiders in the first place is because by default, you're at home. The Colts are bad. I mean, the Colts are really bad. Y'all are bad, but y'all aren't as bad as the Colts. So win the game, and let's move on to next week, because if the Colts come in here and shock the world, I don't know what to expect on Monday morning when it comes to these sports shows, when it comes to hyping up the Colts and players coming back to coach teams right after retirement. All right, let's move on to the Cowboys and Packers, and another helmet game, unfortunately, that's not going to live up to the helmet. The Packers come into Lambeau, and this is also the first time that Jesus, I don't have Ish here right now, but head coach for Mike McCartney, there we go. Head coach for the Cowboys is coming back to Lambeau Field. He talked about it throughout the week. When it comes to him being a little emotional, he might even get a little teary-eyed being out there back in Lambeau Field once again. Aaron Rodgers talked about it a little bit being a special moment. So it will be a special moment when it comes to all those guys. But for the most part, it's not going to be anything too special for the Packers, just due to the team not being very good. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers can save them this game as well. I know some people had some high hopes against the Bills last week, maybe pulling off the upset, but as we saw, that wasn't going to happen. And same thing with the Cowboys. I expect the Cowboys to do more of the same, play solid defense, utilize their offensive weapons, and for Dak to continue to get back into a rhythm once again on that offense. And Ish out here, he wanted to run away from me, but he's back once again. And like I was telling the crew, Ish, with this game being a quote unquote helmet game, which is supposed to be a better game than what it is going to be, just because of how bad the Packers are. The Cowboys should come in here, take care of business, play sound defense, and get out of here with a dub. But for the Packers, it seems as though that they are not going to see any light out of this tunnel anytime soon, after losing to the Bills and most likely another loss to the Cowboys. Ish.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I've been saying it for weeks now, and I'm going to keep piling it on Green Bay because I picked them to win the division, and then they just wanted to embarrass me this season. Yeah, it's not looking good for them. Not looking good at all. I don't see light at the end of the tunnel. I don't see them beating the Cowboys. I don't see them beating the Titans. I don't see them beating the Eagles. I even think that at Chicago, they could lose that game. And if they lose that game, it will be the lows of all lows. But hey, we'll have to see. At some point, somebody on that team's gonna have to decide that they want to, play for pride. They want to actually go out there and win some of these games. That offense, though, I just don't know how they improve. And especially when you look at Lazard getting hurt, Dobbs getting hurt, it's just there's so much happening that this year, this may be the very tragic end of Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting what happens in the offseason once again with Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay Packers, right? It's not like we haven't heard that one before. First one that says Packers pretty much playing the same team 2 weeks in a row, big fat L en route. And he also says, Ish, if you get that job, bring me on as a special assistant.
Yeah, I got you. Special, you want to be special teams coach? I got you. Don't worry. We might be going to Vegas after today.
Make sure y'all let me know when y'all have the roulette table. I need to put something down on black.
Already did. You coming as offensive coordinator?
Oh, okay. I didn't know. You didn't invite me. I didn't know.
I got you. I'm already putting the staff together.
Bet. Already. Cardinals and Rams. Now I want you to start off on this one because I was very surprised by your pick. If I'm being honest, I was expecting for you to go the opposite way. But
why were you surprised?
Because the Rams are just not playing good football. Now, I do know coming into this game, too, apparently both starting quarterbacks might not play. So Kyler Murray and Matt Stafford might not be starting this game and might not even be playing just due to separate injuries on their part. So most likely it could come down to the backups. And after looking at that, I actually was thinking maybe Colt McCoy might will this Cardinals team to a victory. But overall, the Rams are just a better team, especially defensively. And if they are able to get the Colt, should make Colts' day a little bit more of a hectic day than it needs to be and maybe cause some turnovers on that side. Maybe the Rams should take care of business. I'm picking the Rams because I'm still trying to keep my Super Bowl hopes alive. That's why I'm picking them, I'm just being honest. I was surprised that you picked them because I just thought you would take the bad little toddler and thought he'd be running around all around LA and take care of business.
The Rams are 4-1 in the last 5 matchups against the Cardinals. Last time I checked, Cliff Kingsbury is still coaching the Cardinals, and it is the second half of the season. And we all know what happens in the second half of the season with any Cliff Kingsbury coached team. So I just don't have high hopes for the Cardinals, even if it is a divisional game, even if I think that they're going to get up for this game. I just don't have high hopes for them. I think that they're going to go out there, they're going to play solidly, and then lose. So I don't care. Modern Warfare 2 is out. Yeah, Kyler, I think he's been blasting on that and playing well with his team, his teammates that he's got there on the FaZe clan, and I think that's the team he's been focusing on a little bit more than the Cardinals. So Cardinals, I don't have high hopes. I'm waiting for Cliff to be let go and for them to move on with the next offensive guru that they want to bring in. That's pretty much it for the Cardinals. I don't know that they are going to turn this around.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's not looking good for the Cardinals. So let's go ahead and move on to the Sunday night football game of this weekend. Chargers and 49ers. Ish, I'll let you start this one off as well.
Yeah, Chargers, 49ers. The Chargers at the moment, they're doing all right, but they're hanging on by a thread, really. They're able to squeak out a win against the Atlanta Falcons, and that was coming off of your bye week where you were supposed to get healthy and have people playing. I think Keenan Allen's out today. Mike Williams still out today. I just think the 49ers are going to win this game. The 49ers should win this game. They're at home. They can, they have a little bit more time with CMC now there to go make up more gadget plays. He's probably going to play some quarterback today. He's going to play some wide receiver. He's going to play some left tackle. I heard that he might even line up at center, and they might try to do like a Fumble-Rooski type thing. Who knows? But I'm expecting the 49ers come out here and win this game and beat up on a battered Chargers team.
Fumble-Rooski. Everybody loves a good old Fumble-Rooski. I'm going with the Chargers because of you have nothing to lose right now. What I mean by that is everything that Ish just talked about when it comes to all your injuries you have for the Chargers and 49ers, they're getting a second half wind in, and they're supposed to be the better team, and they're a 7.5 point favorite, and they're this and they're that. It gives the Chargers nothing but bulletin material to be able to come out there and just go play with all pun intended with your hair on fire. And I mean, this is I feel like the game for Justin Herbert to get back on track. He has not been what he has been the last, year-ish or so in the league. And maybe this is the game that will get him back on track. Of course, obviously missing Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are two big pieces. We still have Everett, the tight end. It was a very solid piece on the offensive side of the ball. And of course, hopefully Mr. Eckler will take care of business as well coming out of the backfield. But if the Chargers do win this game, it's going to be very close. I'll give it about a 1 or 2 point victory. But for the most part, yeah, I agree with everything you're saying when it comes to the 49ers. Also, too, the way the Chargers came off of their win last week against against the Falcons. Probably should have won the game, but hey, you was able to take care of business and come out with a victory against the Falcons. All right, that'll do it once again for a Week 10 preview show. We will be back once again on Tuesday to recap Week 10 of the NFL season. And it was Week 10. We're about to start getting things rolling once again. But we're about to
get into the meat and potatoes.
Contenders and pretenders about to start separating real soon. So we're about to start seeing who's real and who's not. We got Thanksgiving coming up about another week. And you know how that get down. And after that, it's November, December football. That's when the big boys come out to play. And, we'll go from there. And Travis Crow says, see y'all.
Appreciate you as always, Travis.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in once again. And as always, we will join you on Tuesday, 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. We appreciate the love and thank y'all for tuning in to XtalknIsh.
Make sure y'all watch Danny Dimes light up the Texans today.
I'm trying to end it on a good note, and this man over here bringing up Danny Dimes. Like, why?
Comeback player of the year. That's a good note. Everybody love a comeback player.
That's Geno's award to lose, sir.
Comeback player of the year, Danny Dimes. Make sure y'all check him out.
And Geno has the head-to-head matchup on that one too.
Why you like bringing up old
Tuesday?
Stuff? Why you like bring up old stuff?
Taco Tuesday.